Good morning, and welcome to the next edition of Slakker Dyno Days.
Good morning.
What do we got today, Philip?
Well, we have a little Slakker 4.1 powered by a Hartech closed-stake system with upgraded camshafts, stage 2 port job, our GT3 throttle body and plenum upgrade, and then our 8K valve spring package.
8K valve spring package, huh?
Yes.
What are the challenges of spinning up to above the factory rev limit of 7,300?
Well, we have to control the valve train well enough to prevent float. This spring package is pretty well developed and versatile that we can set it up to run anywhere from 8,000 to 11,000, I believe. Isn't that right?
Yes, that is correct. So the reason we've picked 8,000 is the real challenges on this engine come in at 8,500. With the way the oil pump is driven, beyond that, we have some exposure to cavitation of the pump and getting more air in the oil system. The other challenge that goes with that, the hydraulic lifters can become spongy and start kind of doing their own thing at the end of the day.
It introduces them into the malfunctioning phase of the hydraulic setups. And this goes along with the vast majority of hydraulic lifters.
Right, and so we're kind of using that 8,500 limit on hydraulic lifters based on rule of thumb that's been passed down to us. We haven't actually tested that, but we've also seen some hydraulic lifters that have gone beyond 8,500 and they don't seem to come away from it too well, do they?
No. If you do find one that works, it typically means that the lifespan of the lifter is extremely shortened. You never know when you're actually going to have a failure, a catastrophic failure, and in some cases that could destroy the valve train components completely.
Typically when we see an engine that has been money shifted and spun to beyond 9,000, 9,500, 10,000 RPMs, having spider cracks on the lifters is one of the telltale signs that that engine has been overspun. So we picked 8,000, that gives us about 500 RPM of margin.
Yes.
We do have plans to maybe go a little further than that, but we're
working on it.
solve one challenge at a time.
That's right.
This engine's already been broke in.
Yes.
It's already been tested. We know it's good. We know it's healthy. We've spun it up to 6,000 RPM so far, and basically have our tables somewhat dialed in.
Yep.
And now we're ready to go from here.
Yes.
All right.
Let's get after it.
Let's fire it up and see how it goes.
All right. Idle when it first fires up before the fuel correction starts. Yeah. Yeah.
To go higher, we needed more duration in our cams to be able to support maintaining the power a little further.
Yes.
Typically that can cause some challenges at idle.
Yes, it can.
However, kind of the beauty of the 996.2 and 997.1 engines is it's a dual lobe cam.
Yep.
So it's got one cam for traditional idle, although we don't generally use it much on the dyno.
No.
That cam for idling and for puttering around, that's going to be unchanged. The only place our cam design comes into effect is when you give it the beans.
Yes.
And get up on that higher lobe.
Yep.
And then it really shines.
It does.
Let's see, we've got 136 oil, 150 on the coolant Fahrenheit, and so just need to get a little more heat into it and start working in that direction.
Yeah, I've left off. I didn't quite finish leaning out from 5 to 6.
Okay.
I have not finished, and I haven't even finished the timing. That's why I didn't lean it out. It's still at 87.
Okay.
So we still need to get our MBT set up from 5 to 6. Finish leaning it out after that.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and bring this on up a little bit. Now then, we do have a little bit of a challenge with the dyno in that it's reading 70, probably 7,600.
Yep.
Then we know we're going to be spinning about 8,000 here.
Yes.
As part of the testing, probably plan on revving up to actually about 8,200. And so pushing the envelope just a little bit, 8,200, 8,250. That'll allow us to capture higher values on the dyno in the process. And I think that'll be okay for testing purposes. But the actual rev limiter will be set to 8,000 on the ECU when this engine goes out. Now, the one thing that I have learned from our good buddy Wayne Schofield is that the inlet manifold flap does tend to like to come back on above about 72 or 7,300 RPM. So we get into like a different resonance range.
No.
And so we
That is awesome. That's awesome. Man, I wondered about that because, you know, resonance works off of pulses and how far it goes in and out, in and out. And so what we're seeing there is we're starting to get back into the prime of another wave.
Yep.
Another order, as I believe it's called. So that's going to be interesting to find out.
Definitely.
Yeah. Kind of got me excited there.
Yeah.
Learned something new. Yeah, that if we do hit that resonance, it should rev on out a little further. Yes.
And I'm also going to bring this down because we may drop down if we've got some restriction in the rest of the system, i.e. the inlet manifold.
Yes.
Then I do want to make sure that we've allowed for that in our tuning graphs because we may see it drop down either on manifold pressure or on normalized engine load. And so I'm just going to set a big old stretch there of the values that we want, and that should keep us in pretty good shape.
Yes, we will definitely start to see our inlet manifold pressure start to lower, or actually increase, as we get into that higher rev range, which means that we're getting less efficient on the engine side. One of the things I have noticed in the past on any type of engine is like when you get into those areas of rev capability, a bigger throttle body tends to help there.
Yep.
And we already have plans for what's the next size up, 86 or 85?
There is a 93 millimeter throttle body. We have one of those for testing. We do not have a plenum to mate it up with yet, but we can work on that. That'll come. We've spent all of our time optimizing the same power band that these engines are based on up until this point. Now it's just time to start focusing a little above that and see what we see.
Goals, buddy, goals.
Let's go. Fun stuff. Let's see what it does.
All right. All right, here we go. It didn't get the last 100 RPM. That's why there's such a big difference in horsepower. It was like a 6 horsepower loss, but the graph was actually pretty well the same.
Okay. Let's do a pull like that. So using the limits, let's use the fuel trims to set the offsets and see what happens.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Look at that. They're at least staying together.
Yes.
And I think we're going to see a benefit to that later out here. See how much power we lost down low? That usually means that we're making
Run it one more time as a comparative, back to back. Still had the earlier gain, didn't it?
Yeah, on the original setup, yes.
Okay. So
I really think the offset we have programmed right now, we may actually see a benefit out over here from it. So we just need to keep our settings and then we can test that theory.
Well, let me bounce back real quick.
Okay.
Minus 1.5. Okay, because it's 4 versus 1.5. Minus 1.5.
Yes.
I'm just moving the bank 1 offset. All right, give her a go.
Lost the top end.
Okay.
Bad.
All right, let's see.
Oh, it's because it didn't finish recording it all the way.
All right, what's the show me the comparative to the, what is it, 20?
There it is.
Okay, sure enough, we lose early if we do that.
Yep.
Which is where the power band is of this. So I think that, you know, that's where the vario cams are supposed to make a difference.
Yes. Yeah.
So, okay, all right, that was an interesting little, let's just see.
Yep.
Let's take her up to 7, see how she looks and sounds.
All right, here we go.
What injectors do we have on this?
They're 1/16, I believe.
1/16. Oh, the Bosch. We may have to upgrade the injectors
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
with the 98.3% fuel injector duty. We haven't dialed in the tune, so
Yeah.
sitting at 412 right now is probably a pretty good spot for us.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think you looked a little concerned, I'm not gonna lie.
A little bit nervous when we do this, just like you are.
Right?
I just try to keep my composure.
Not me,
Until
I
we-
tend to flinch and
Yeah.
flinch and clinch. Let's do another one with the 400 limit, just so
Okay.
we've kind of got our baseline. All sounded pretty good and smooth.
364 on the torque.
Whoa,
We've never hit 364 on the torque.
we just haven't tried hard enough.
What gets me is this, on these engines, is this dive right here.
Uh-huh,
That dive right there.
yep.
Yeah.
Let's set it for 7,500.
Okay.
It sounded good.
Dude, I wasn't nervous a bit, and it didn't. Dude, I wasn't nervous a bit. Oh, we're gonna have to change the scale. Hang on.
That's all. I always like it when we have to do that. Okay, looks like we peaked out at about 7720.
Yep. No problems either.
Okay, and that was at 7,500, right? So 7,900.
Okay. 7,900.
Mm-hmm. No, you gotta let
I'm
that
doing
knee.
it too, though.
You gotta
You
let
know?
that knee bounce.
All right, here we go. I had to take a breath for a second.
All right, we got this.
I saw a puff of smoke.
Out of where?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's why
I was about to say you flinched.
we still hit our 7,900,
Okay.
but I saw a puff of smoke, so that's why I
All right.
flashed. All right, let me go check it out.
All right. Sounds good. Best I can tell, there's just a small little flash of something off the front.
Off the front?
Off the front.
To me, from my angle, it looked like off the side. I was looking over the oil pressure while we were doing here, and I do have a concern.
Right, we're starting to see the cavitation already.
I have a fix for that, and I've already researched it.
Where are we seeing the cavitation at?
It's not really cavitating. It's just not keeping up with our RPM. We're not getting any more pressure out of it, right?
Well, we're starting to drop pressure right at about 7,000 RPM, right? Which I'm guessing is where the oil pump is essentially tuned for.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're at 78.1 psi at 7,000 RPM.
Yes.
From around 3,500, we're at 72. So we gain 6 psi throughout the rev range.
Yes.
And then we start reversing, and from 7,000 to 7,900, we lose essentially just over 1 psi, 1.3 psi.
Right.
So we're not losing much yet, but we are starting to see it.
Yes. So typically the gears that we have on an oil pump, typically the gears will put out more volume than the pump will itself, design-wise. What you have to do is you have to modify the entry to the pump and the exit of the pump to get the full flow rating that the gears were designed for.
Okay.
I've already looked into it, and there's also...
But is this if the gears are spinning faster than the entry and the exit, is that when we see that slight decrease?
That's a good question to ask.
Right.
I don't know yet. And then along with that, you dimple on the gears themselves, the teeth that stick out. You put a dimple center point in the middle of the teeth all the way around on both sides, on both gears, and that gives you more of an oil wedge to help reduce the shock load of being pushed against the gear case as it returns.
Okay.
And that's the modifications you do with the oil pumps. You know, the next step after that will be an actually upgraded oil pump with bigger gears or dry sump. So we still have some room there. I know we do. We're just gonna have to figure it out.
All right, sounds good. We'll see how this does going just a little bit higher, but I think that first we'll need to move to mechanical lifters in order to solve the hydraulic lifter issue, and then we'll see what we have with the oil pumps and see what
how it's doing. May give us a little more out of the oil pump because we're not having the pressure loss from the lifters.
Makes sense.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna fire this thing back up.
Let's do it. Okay, we just did our first 8,200 pull.
And now we're wanting to go up a little higher? Or we want to tune in what we got?
Let's try the flap.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're gonna kick it back in at 7,200.
Okay.
See what that does.
All right. There we go.
Whoa, that is way up there.
How high did it rev? It did extend it out. Holy shit.
Wow.
Wow. Yes, it did.
Check that out.
We just got to find the sweet spot.
Dang. All right, pull up the comparative. So closing the inlet flap.
Dude, that's monster.
Fix the drop.
Look, we gained 20 foot-pounds of torque.
At 7,900. That is amazing.
Dude, I gotta show Clayton this.
That is so cool.
Clayton, come here. So he caught wind that the resonance flap could be reopened at higher RPM to extend the range. Boom. Yes, it was absolutely correct.
That is freaking awesome.
We just have to find the sweet spot.
Everything looks pretty sound. We did have a little bit of
that knock blip right there.
Yeah, it was just isolated.
Yeah.
Probably a little too aggressive of a trim for what it was. We were at 26.5 degrees
I don't think we actually have an issue. That may be a one-time occurrence.
Yeah, I think it's phantom, but that's fine.
Dude, cool fucking discovery. Cool
Let's
discovery.
go.
Alright.
Add a little bit of timing back in. I think, so looking at that, let's see, where did the horsepower or the torque shift at? Pull back up the comparative graph.
Okay, hang on. You opened it at 72, right?
Yeah.
We didn't see any effects until 74 from it, really. Let me
Okay.
pull up the comparative. Yeah.
Which would be
Actually, we saw the
72
effects.
on the dyno.
Yeah,
Double click on that and see if it'll give you a number.
7,300.
Okay.
Yeah, so 100 RPM off.
So I don't think we want to wait any longer, do we?
No. We may try backing it up.
Try backing it up a hair?
Yeah, and seeing if we get a benefit from it or if it just destroys it. You know how that goes.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Do we gain any value bringing the cams back in? All right, so I'm gonna back up the flap 100.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, hold on. I was already changing the timing. Let me back off on that. Slow down, Speed Racer.
It would be nice if we could get it to react right here at this, what is this, at 7,100, because that's kind of where it starts to fall over.
Yep.
If we can just get it to flatline out.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So we'll back it from 72 to 71 and see what she does comparatively.
Okay.
She sounds smooth. We're not having any valve train issues. Well, that looks pretty good.
We got something going on here. Our trims are just nuts. We had something happen there. I'm gonna turn it off for now. It happened after, nope, it happened during the pool. Something with bank one.
Oh, look. We lost bank one.
Yep. We didn't lose bank two.
All right. We know what happened and why.
So exciting.
So much progress.
It really was. Let's take the positive notes and roll with it.
Okay.
And we positively know what the fix is.
Yep.
So let's just get on it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Good work, sir.